guys, we are back with another song by Eminem. And which one are we doing today?
Today we are doing Chloraseptic Remix.
Okay, so I know Chloraseptic. We just did Chloraseptic because it was in the last album, but I've never heard the remix. Who's on it?
So it's featuring Phresher, the guy who does the chorus. He has a verse on this, and then it's also featuring 2 Chainz.
I don't think I know it. I know the original.
Yeah, so it's interesting. When we did the original, I explained how I'm way more familiar with the remix, you know.
You must listen to it when I'm not there. I don't
Yeah, I guess.
think I know two versions of this song.
So yeah, just a slight little bit of backstory. This came out after Revival, right? And Eminem actually addresses some of the shit he got for Revival, the album. Also, there was a little controversy because 2 Chainz was obviously on the song. He thought he was going to be on the original. So when the track list came out, his name wasn't on it. And he actually like put up a post somewhere, like kind of being like, what the fuck? He deleted it. And then ultimately the remix came out shortly after.
That just goes to show you should always ask someone what the deal is before you post anything about it.
Yeah, it's very funny. But yeah, he quickly deleted it. And then he's like, oh, yeah, So he was fine.
Yeah.
But yes, so this is a pretty good one. Eminem raps wild and he addresses a lot of the shit, like I said. So
Yeah, I definitely have only heard the original
yeah,
for sure.
so it'll be interesting. All right, and we are sponsored by Manscaped. So as I mentioned in every video, I got the Performance Package 4.0, which comes with the Lawnmower 4.0. Again, my favorite part about this item is it has this light when you turn it on, so you could actually see what you're doing. It also comes with a ceramic blade, so that actually helps reduce nicks and ingrown hairs. It's awesome. It's the best buzzer I've ever used. It's also waterproof. It's by far the best. It also comes with the trimmer attachments for the lawnmower. Comes with a separate ear and nose hair trimmer. It also comes with crop preserver and crop reviver, also known as ball deodorant and ball toner, which is cool. Also, travel case, so you could fit everything in, and it came with a pair of boxer briefs, which were like very comfortable.
And really soft.
I know it's another thing I talk about in like every single video where we're sponsored by Manscaped. I'm like, the boxers are so great. Anyway, you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code WithSmith at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code WithSmith. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
And the link's in the description below.
Yes.
We're also sponsored by Carnivore Snacks, one of my absolute favorite meat snacks. Only 2 ingredients. This is the beef chuck. It's grass-fed beef chuck and red bean real salt. Most of the other ones, unless it's more than one meat involved, it's just 2 ingredients. It's like a dried meat snack. It's literally like eating a meat potato chip, and it's absolutely incredible. And I'm addicted to them. Like literally one of my favorite things. And you can use our coupon code WithSmith for 15% off your order. Links in the description below as well. Also, check out Chomps. This is one of my other favorite meat snacks. It's my favorite beef jerky ever. And it's also only grass-fed, minimal ingredients, 90 calories, super soft, moist, and delicious. And you can use the same coupon code for 10% off your order and an additional 10% off subscriptions. Also, check out SeatGeek if you're in the market for concert tickets or sporting event tickets. You will save $20 off your first purchase with the same coupon code with Smith. And the link for everything is in the description below. And like we always say, we don't promote anything that we don't either use or love. So if we're promoting it, I promise you it's good. I hate when people promote things that they don't actually stand behind. Like if you go through TikTok and you see 900 women promoting Kiala Greens, like, no. We actually really do love the products we promote.
Yes.
So with that being said, let's go. Oh, wait. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on social media channels if you want to.
Yes.
You think I would remember everything by now?
It's a long list.
It's terribly long.
All right, here we go. Chloraseptic Remix.
Yeah, yeah. Take him to church. I'm talking the tabernacle. It's the return of the body snatcher. Walk in the spot, make my woman smack it. Woo! In a fruit fight, I aim at your Adam's apple. Pull up in the candy car, eating the candy bar. My girl eating the candy apple. Yo, I line the ass up. I aim at that goozer. All of these stones on my neck. They must have licked the Medusa. Pocket rebuser, of course. I drove some rims to court. I fucked some twins before. I had a Benz before. This is the sin report. This is the murder past the burner M. Your money shorter than the acronym. Big body when I'm backing in. Lottie Dottie got a bunch of bodies. Niggas fake a nigga human trafficking. I'm on the act again. This ain't an accident. King like Akron. I run the trafficking. You on the treadmill. Never land. Shit came with a Ferris wheel. Ferris day off, baby AR in the same car. Most of y'all my sons all look at little JR F12, same color Kate Moss on. I'm talking wrist in the pot. I'm talking this and you not. I'm talking bricks and you not. I'm talking straight up and down. Nigga like 6 o'clock. This is the equinox. This what the people want. Somebody at the door. I heard the speaker knock.
I'm at your throat like Chloraseptic. And you got strep, I'm too complex me. The shit I wrote is awesome next year. I'm at your throat, I'm feeling reckless.
Okay.
He is really good.
I know.
Yeah, I haven't heard this.
So I am not the biggest fan of 2 Chainz.
No.
I actually liked more of his stuff when he was Titty Boy, back with DDP and like Ludacris and them.
He wasn't he on like I'm So High or
Maybe.
the song with T-Pain.
Maybe. I don't remember.
It's like really old.
But yes, this is incredible. His verse is so good. He's like very, very good on this. So when I heard this, I was like, oh wow, he's actually way better than I thought. You know. So it starts off directly with just 2 Chainz. He comes right in. He says, 2 Chainz, yeah. Take him to church. I'm talking the tabernacle. It's the return of the body snatcher. Walk in the spot, make my woman smack you. So yeah, he says, take him to church, and then I'm talking the tabernacle. So that's like where they keep the communion in the church.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a play on that, and then return of the body snatcher, snatching bodies. Make my woman smack you. So she's gonna do it. Then he says, in a fruit fight, I aim at your Adam's apple.
That's a good line.
Yes, so that's really cool.
And at your throat, like the song.
Yes, exactly. And so Adam's apple, which is obviously like it's the part of the
That,
throat,
like,
which I believe the phrase comes from the like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. You know what I mean? The
yeah, because
apple.
of the apple,
So
and
he,
it's just like a bulge in your neck.
so he goes from make my woman smack you, and then he talks about Adam's apple. There's kind of a little tie in there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then he says, pull up in the candy car, eating a candy bar, and my girl's eating a candy apple.
So candy colored paint, meaning that it's like probably like a bright red or like
Something
just a
like that.
bright, fun color.
Yes. And then then he says, yeah, I line the ass up, I aim it there. So I think he says goozer. Let's see. I have the lyrics on my phone because I'm always prepared for this
Lyric
shit.
issues.
Yes. So actually, okay, so this does say goozer.
What's a goozer?
So hold on. Let's make sure this is what you're
How
hearing.
do you spell it?
Hold on. Listen for real quick.
Okay.
It's the return of the body snatcher. In a fruit fight, I aim at your Adam's apple and the candy apple. Yo, I line the ass up. I aim at that goozer.
Kuza.
So somebody wrote goozer, Goozer. So there's
Goozer or Kuza.
so somebody says goozer is another term for uvula, part of
It
your throat
sounded
that
like they
enables
said
you to
Yakuza.
aim it to kuza. So I don't know. Somebody says it's like a uvula.
I've never. Oh, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Then he says, all these stones in my neck, they must have looked at Medusa. So
Because Medusa turns people to stone when you look
yes.
at her.
Yes. Then he says pockets Respucia, of course. So
Is that a brand?
no, you ever seen Norbit, the Eddie Murphy movie?
Nor. Ah, I don't. Maybe.
It was one of his later ones. So yeah, he played. She was like a big fat character. So he says pockets Respucia. So he has fat pockets.
Okay.
Then he says I drove some rims to court. I fucked some twins before. I had a Benz before. This is the sin report. So that's really funny. He's saying all the things that he did, and then he's like, "This is the sin report." So
yeah, like all the. Yeah.
so I guess he's driving rims to court is a sin and fucking twins and having a Benz
I
are
guess.
it-
I mean, actually, if you like, based on the Bible, yeah, I think all those things are sins. You're not
so
supposed to have sex with two people at once, I don't think.
but the rims and the bends, I don't really know how those are sins.
Going to court, you obviously sinned if you're going to
So
court.
that
Well,
true.
you're being accused of sinning.
True. Um, okay, so I will say somebody pointed this out. I did not catch this on my own. Somebody pointed out the twins and the bends is a nod to Eminem and Chicka 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 Slim Shady. How did then instead of twin babies and the Mercedes Benz with the windows?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
from Forgot About Dre.
And also
They,
another point I wanted to make before we forget, the rims, having like fancy rims on your car, it's a sin. It's flashy. I guess it could be greed or
something
prideful.
like that.
Yeah.
Could be.
So yeah.
Yeah. So yes, people think that's a little nod to Eminem. I didn't even make that association,
Probably.
but that's what people are saying.
Because it's a random assortment of things
Yeah. Yes.
with like a loose tie-in at the end. So probably.
Yeah. Then he says, "This is the murder past the burner M. Your money's shorter than an acronym.
That's so funny.
Big body when I'm backing in. Lottie Dottie got a bunch of bodies. Dude's faking. Dude's human trafficking. I'm on the act again." So this is a sick. His flow is so good on this too. So yeah,
He did really good.
yeah. So murder. So he's killing people, and then he
Yeah.
says, "Pass the burner M." So
The gun.
yes, and then your money's shorter than an acronym. It's
So
funny.
like an acronym like ATM's like 3 letters, so you don't have any money.
Yeah, it's funny though because he says pass the burner M, and then he says your money's shorter than an acronym. And it sounds like he's talking to Eminem, which
Yeah, it
he's
does.
not. But
Yeah.
it's just like a separate thought. And then yeah, big body. So he has a big body car, truck, whatever it is. And then Lottie Dottie got a bunch of bodies. So the song like Lottie Dottie, Slick Rick, like Lottie Dottie, we like to party.
Yeah.
So it's a play on that. And then got a bunch of bodies. So
Killed people.
yes, but then he says dudes faking, dudes human trafficking. So like other dudes, they don't have bodies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then human trafficking bodies, and then killing people. Then he says I'm on the act again. So that's short for the pharmaceutical company that makes lean and promethazine. Activists. Let's see if it's up here. Activists.
Interesting. I've never heard of activists, and I work in
Yeah, I have.
clinical research.
It's funny that he refers to it by the pharmaceutical company's name. Do you know what I mean? Like instead of like,
Because if you have like a generic version, I think, because I mean, yeah, because I mean, they can't really have like there's got to be a generic version or non-generic versions.
yeah, I would think. So yeah, it could be like another Pfizer again, but he's saying act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny. All right. Then he continues. He says, "This ain't an accident. King like Akron." So LeBron James from Akron, Ohio. King James, he goes by.
Okay.
Then he says, "I run the trap again. You on the treadmill." So
Because he like runs the trap, but you're like just running on the treadmill.
exactly.
Like that's all you run.
Yes. Then he says, "Never, never land. Shit came with the Ferris wheel. Goddamn."
So saying he doesn't do like Never Neverland would be like he never does Michael Jackson stuff.
So I don't know about that because Never Neverland is what they call it in Peter Pan, right? And didn't Michael Jackson did have a Ferris wheel on Neverland. So it's weird. So Never Neverland from Peter Pan is what it's called, right? And then Michael Jackson called his estate Neverland Ranch.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was Never Neverland. Do you know what I mean?
No, it wasn't. I think he's saying Never Neverland.
I don't know.
Like
about
never
that.
that.
See, that's why I'm confused because in Peter Pan it is Never Neverland. That's the title of it. It's not that they're saying never. I'm not going to do this.
No, I get them.
Because then he says shit came with the Ferris wheel. So it's like he's saying
which is
that
like Neverland.
he's got
Ranch.
And then he says Ferris day off, baby AR in the same car. Most of y'all my sons. Look at little JR. So he goes from Ferris wheel to Ferris day off. Ferris
Like
Bueller.
Ferris Bueller.
Yes. And then he says baby AR in the same car. So he has an armor light rifle, which is what the AR stands for, and AR-15.
Yeah.
And then he says, most of y'all my sons look at little JR. So Junior.
Mhm.
It's very funny. And he says F12, same color, Kate Moss.
White.
Yes. I'm talking wrist in the pot. I'm talking this and you not. I'm talking bricks and you not. I'm talking straight up and down, dude, like 6 o'clock.
That's awesome because it's got to hit the 12 and the 6.
Yeah, so it's literally up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the rest in the pod, obviously, like cooking,
Cooking.
crack, coke,
Yeah.
whatever. And then brick, same shit. And then, yeah, you explain that. He says, this is the equinox. This is what the people want. Somebody at the door. I heard the speaker knock. Oh. So, yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah.
Um,
And it goes into a chorus, right?
It is,
Yeah.
which, so we covered this. I'll just
Yeah.
briefly mention, people didn't see the original. So I mentioned Chloraseptic, so that's obviously the throat spray.
Yeah.
And you got strep I'm too complex with. So they're saying they're like Chloraseptic, they're at your neck, like Chloraseptic, treat your neck. And
Yeah.
then he says the shit I wrote is on some next shit. It kind of sounds like neck shit, you know what I mean?
True.
And then I'm feeling reckless. All right. I'm very tempted to see how you're going to react to this verse because Phresher is a unique rapper.
Reckless. Do me a favor, don't do me no favors. These bitches got favors, they all want this woman. They doing no labor, they shopping in razors, they stinging like tasers. Act Hollywood like they play for the Lakers. Step out in the latest, cracks alligators, say hi to my haters. Bobby, my neighbor, we eat natural good lots of potatoes. You must be sniffing at Yale if you don't think on that nigga. Swagger on tits, it's a deal. It's a okay though, whipping a whip like it's real. Every track is a KO. Johnny Cucao, go off your head like a mail. Out of this road, talking NATO. Excuse the jail, don't be an a-hole. Cause I got shooters that shoot when I say so. Like loud, wanna be in my shoes, you ain't pay no shows. No nigga, you ain't break no rules. Hell yeah. High school niggas ain't your flow. Right dumbing down a low, but I ain't no fool. Hell yeah. Niggas hate every day, big, y'all. Shit, it's all seen lately, y'all. Gotta plug 'em out with these J beats, y'all. Might go crazy. These niggas too goddamn lazy. Don't never ever try to play me. Little Saturday nigga from BK, but I'm trying to come on like Jay. Nothing but love for my heart. I feel entitled to title. Fucking it all with the title. I'm missing that girl in the Chloraseptic. And you got strep, I'm too complex me. Bless me. The shit I wrote is awesome. Next shit. I'm at your throat, I'm feeling reckless.
He is rap really, really, really fast.
So he's fast and he's also like mumbling his words.
Not really. It was
Very
pretty clear.
See,
I think.
I disagree. I don't think he's clear. I think he's so I don't
He
know.
sounds like he's got maybe something in his throat.
You could hear the difference in when he's singing the chorus and when he was delivering his verse. It's different. It's not as clear. You know what I mean?
So you think he's making fun of the mumble rapper?
I don't know. So I'm not familiar with him enough to know if that's how he normally raps. Do you know what I mean?
Wasn't that the whole reason for the song,
Yeah,
like
it's
you said?
their throat. Yeah, nobody can understand them. So I can't tell. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
I could have.
Especially if he's rapping different from the chorus.
Yeah. So anyway, he says, do me a favor. Don't do me no favors. It's funny.
Yeah.
These bitches got flavors. They all want to smoke, but ain't doing no labor.
Okay.
So,
They want to hang out, but they don't have any money.
Yes. But they shopping at rallies. Rallies? I forget how he said it. They stinging like tasers, act Hollywood like they play for the Lakers, then fly on the latest. Crocs alligators, say hi to my haters. So they want to smoke. They're not doing any labor, but they shopping at so
I don't know what Rallies is, so it doesn't really help me.
Rally's Supermarket, also known as Rally's Family of Fine Stores, is a privately held, family-owned supermarket chain that operates in Northern California.
So it's like a nice supermarket.
It sounds like it.
So they ain't doing no labor, but they're shopping at Rallies. So I guess like we could do modern day and just like say it was like Erewhon or something.
Yeah. Interesting.
They stinging like lasers.
They stinging.
Like they're hurt because he's rich and they're not.
I don't know. I don't know what the stinging is, what that reference is. I don't know.
Let us know.
Yeah. Then he says, act Hollywood like they play for the Lakers. So
acting like you're some big shot celebrity.
Yes, they fly on the latest. So they're on like G5s, whatever it is. Or are you saying they fly on the latest Crocs alligators, meaning like the fashion? They fly on the latest fashion. Do you know what I mean?
So it could be a double entendre. He could be meaning a G whatever, or Crocs and alligators. Like alligator would be Lacoste, Crocs would be like the Crocs.
Yeah.
And just saying that all they ever do is try to just jump on the latest trend.
Yeah, or alligator skin stuff too.
Yeah.
Crocodile
Although
skin.
I do say Crocs, I still don't officially consider those trendy.
Yeah. So then he says, say hi to my haters. Pardon my neighbor. We eating that chicken, lobster, potatoes. You must be sniffing that yayo if you don't think I'm that dude. So that's funny.
So he's saying we eating chicken, lobster, potatoes. So it's like the meat and potatoes. So he's like, kind
Yeah.
of like a reference to both like having a lot of money, but also like, having a lot of content in his raps, I
Yeah.
guess that could mean.
I would think so. And then, yeah, you got to be doing drugs if you don't think he's the man. He says, swagger on 10 cents a day old. Nice. It's A-okay, though. Whipping up whip like it's mayo. Every track is a KO. Technical KO.
Knockout.
Yes, and then technical knockout.
And
then
whipping it like
whip-
it's mayo,
whipping up
isn't
whip.
that
So, yeah,
crack?
whipping up, crack like it's mayo. Then he says, go off your head like I'm AO. So I actually know this reference. It's AO, the 2 letters. AO was a basketball player on the N1 mixtapes. He was like a street ball player.
Okay.
So that was one of his moves. He'd bounce the ball off the defender's head.
That's funny.
Yeah. So AO, not AYO. Then he says, out of this world, talking NATO. I mean, NATO's in this world, but it's a world type of governing body. So I got it. It's cause of jail. Don't be an a-hole. Is that what he's saying? It's cause of jail? Yeah, he does say it's cause of jail, ho. Don't be an a-hole. So I guess, is he saying he was in jail and, that's why he is the way he is? Not sure. Let me know. Yeah, there's no annotations on his verse. Then he says, because I got shooters that shoot when I say so. Lay low. Want to be in my shoes. You ain't paid no dues. Real dude. You ain't breaking no rules. Hell yeah. High school. Dudes ate your food.
Aw.
Might dumb it down a little, but I ain't no fool.
Nice.
So yeah, he has shooters, people that'll shoot for him.
Yeah.
You want to be where he is, but you have to put in the work. You don't break rules, you follow the rules. And when you were in high school, people ate your food. So
they bullied you.
literally and figuratively, I assume. Like they literally would eat his lunch and then they'd also, punk him like you're saying. And then he says, it might dumb it down a little, but I ain't no fool. So, he'll dumb down his raps, but
not too much.
yeah. Then he says, dudes hate every day, B. Shit is OC lately. So I don't know if that means out of control.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I could think that applies here, out of control. OC. Then he says, gotta break them off with these Dre beats, or I might go crazy. These dudes too goddamn lazy. Don't ever, ever, ever try to play me. I like when he said that. That was funny. Then he says, little shorty coming from BK, but I'm trying to come up like Jay-Z. So he is from, Phresher's from
Brooklyn.
Yes. And then he says, I'm trying to come up like Jay-Z did.
Because Jay-Z's from Brooklyn.
Exactly. And then he says, nothing but love from my heart. I feel entitled to titles. Fuck it, man. I want the title. Submission. They going all viral.
That was a good line.
Yeah. So he feels like he deserves to have titles and he wants the title best. And then submission. They going all viral. So then the viral kind of ties in with the sickness and the chloraseptic whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to play the last little bit of this chorus because Eminem bleeds right in and it's very difficult. So you see we have half the song left exactly and it's just Eminem. Here we go.
That strap, I'm too complex me. Bless me. The shit I wrote is on some next shit. Next shit. I'm at your throat, I'm feeling reckless. Reckless.
Bin Laden with a pin, body and again I begin slaughtering your men, probably should have been Ali at a spin, golly embodiment of sin, like a Saudi and the Taliban plotting an event in a lobby at an intercontinental with an obvious intent, and I will not even relent upon a little, like Osama with a Brahmin to the Benetton, middle of the Pentagon, I hit a kindergarten with a riddle. Stop! Back and forth, like Jack Kevorkian's ass to court, rat mature, why can't you be like Macklemore? Why you always gotta smack a whore? It's likely the psychiatric wards, a last resort, something's gotta give, that's for sure. Yet you keep coming back for more. Not as raw as I was. Walk on water, soft spit, suck my dick. Y'all saw the track list and had it fit before you heard it, so you formed your verdict while you sat with your arms crossed, did your little reaction videos and talked over songs. Nah, dog, y'all saying I lost it. Your fucking marbles are gone. But nowadays, every flow, every cadence sound the same. Brains a powder cake. I draw inspiration out of hate. Real pain in the paper, I don't trace. But if I look strange and out of place, it's cause I'm an alien. That's why I write to the pages out of space. Yeah. From 7 Mile in Novara to how can I be down? All of us trying to pile in a car. We shot for the stars. Cause we only got so much time in this world. So we run into your high school dance to of the night before. If you think you promised tomorrow, now I'm about to fool again. As soon as sick, it's luminous. The moon is lit, a freaking lunatic, a human computer chip, and I'm soon to stick a broom in the uterus of your Hooters chick. If I was you, I wouldn't do nothing stupid due to the mood I'm in. I'm losing it. You get chewed like a junior mint. Show me who to rip. It's time for you to get screwed. Empty the lubricant and put super glue in it. How many fucking rappers did I go through? You spelled out, but you won't admit I smoked. Then you was spellbound, hellbound in my snowsuit. But am I supposed to sound like everything else out? Cause I don't get compared to it. Only myself now, when I can see the fair with the fans and sales down. But the only way I care is if I let myself down. But what the fuck have I woke to? Time to eat the vocals and shit out Pro Tools. I know you still want me to ill out, don't you? Hoping the old slam's gonna spill out. Open fire on your whole camp with the spit I'll roast you. So chill out, no, you hoes couldn't roast me with the shit I wrote you. Then I took a stand when it tan faced and practically cut my motherfucking fan base in half and still outsold you. You just called my shit trash, thank God I rap better when the odds are stacked. Revival's whack, I don't like the zombie track. And when he's talking that garbage psychotic crap, what's your content at? What's with all the conscious rap? Pink, Beyonce, this, and Kalani that. I just added to the fuel in my rocket pack till I'm ready to respond, then I'ma launch it at him. Idiotic from the fucking embryonic sac to the body bag. I'll be back, and when I am, I'll be at your fucking
throat like Chloraseptic.
Jesus fucking Christ. I knew that was coming and I still like
That was really
it's
good.
insane. It's fucking insane. So like I said going into this, he addressed a lot of the fucking controversy that came on the heels of Revival.
Yeah. But it's interesting though because the album came out and 2 Chainz thought he was going to be on the album, so he addressed the backlash of the album before the album came out.
No. So this remix came out after the album was done. So that was the controversy with 2 Chainz. The track list came out and the album came out and 2 Chainz wasn't on it. And then this remix was released later.
Yes. Oh, like they didn't even start this song yet?
No. So 2 Chainz recorded his verse before Revival came out.
So
Then
Eminem
Revival
didn't
came
do
out.
his verse yet.
So that remix just wasn't released.
Okay, but are you understanding my question?
No.
So did Eminem write his verse for this remix before he released the album?
Oh, I don't know. Nobody knows.
Because he's talking about the reaction to the album.
No, of course not.
So
No.
Point because
No, of
it's
course.
confusing me because 2 Chainz like, why isn't my song on the album? And it's like, well, how could
This wasn't on the album.
I get that, but how could this song have even been written until the album came out?
Because 2 Chainz knew he was on a song called Chloraseptic, and the album comes out and he's not on it. So he's like,
that
what the
makes
fuck?
sense. So then Eminem just wrote his part after.
Well, yeah, he did the
He had
remix
to.
version. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, I was confused. I was like,
Yeah, I wasn't
confused.
understanding, but I got you. So yes, so he comes in. So one of the biggest parts that's so impressive about Eminem's verse is obviously his speed, the way he's delivering the lines. It's
it's
wild.
really good.
So, just we're going through the lyrics right now. I'm not going to be able to, do it justice of what he's actually doing. It's fucking
Yeah, of
wild.
course.
But lyrics wise, he says, Bin Laden with the pen, bodying again. So I think it's bodying, not body it. I've been slaughtering your men. Probably should have been Ali or the Svengali, embodiment of sin. Okay, so Bin Laden with the pen, Osama Bin Laden, he's like a terrorist, bodying again, killing people.
Yeah.
I've been slaughtering your men. Probably should have been Ali or the Svengali. So Ali, I guess like Muhammad Ali, and then Svengali.
I don't know what that is.
So Svengali's like a kind of like a huckster, somebody that like fucks people over, like manipulates them. It's like an old school term. I forget where it's from. But yeah, a Svengali. And then he says embodiment of sin. So, like a Saudi in the Taliban plotting an event in the lobby of the Intercontinental with an obvious intent.
So like a terrorism?
A terrorism, yes. And there was a terrorist attack at the Intercontinental Hotel in Kabul, I think. So he's referring to that. That actually was a terrorist attack that happened. With an obvious intent, and I will not even relent up on a little, like Osama with the bomb under the bin, inside the middle of the Pentagon, and hit a kindergartner with a rental. Okay, so I was stumbling over the words here because I was confused, but okay, so he's not going to relent, right? Like Osama with the bomb under the bin, which is funny. So like Osama bin Laden, so he's doing a play on that,
Okay.
right? And then the under the bin, so I guess garbage bin, and then inside the middle of the Pentagon, and hit a kindergarten with a rental,
A rental what?
Like a car rental, yeah, because that's the way terrorist attacks were happening. I don't know if you remember in the city. Yeah,
I
and
like didn't want to go into the city during that time.
yeah, I know.
Like really disturbing videos.
So this is very funny what he does here, though. So he hears and hit a kindergartner with a rental, right? And then you hear him. He does an ad there where he says "stop," right?
Yeah.
So he changes his cadence. He slows it down, right? And then he goes back and forth, like Jack Kevorkian's asked to court.
He was like a doctor, right?
He was Dr. Death, assisted suicide. That was
Right,
him. So
right.
he kept getting sued because assisted suicide was illegal. So he was in his, for decades, in and out of court, in and out of court. They're trying to charge him with murder. But the funny part is, hits the kindergarten with the rental, yells stop, right? So he stops the car, and then he goes back and forth, back
Oh,
and
he's running
forth,
them
running
over.
over the kindergartner. Yes, which is so funny. And then he ties it into like the Jack Kevorkian line, right? So that's so fucking funny. And then he imitates his, critics, and he says, "Rap mature. Why can't you be like Macklemore?"
Rather, how's that mature? He literally did a song about a thrift shop.
Yeah, but
Like it was silly.
Macklemore doesn't. So the next line explains what they're referring to. It says, "Why you always got to smack a whore?" So Macklemore doesn't talk like that. Why aren't you like that? Right. And then he continues, "It's likely the psychiatric ward's a last resort. Something's got to give, that's for sure. Yet you keep coming back for more." So
So he's like addressing like you all talk shit about my music, but like, you're still here listening to it. So like, what do you want?
yeah, exactly. Yes. And then he says, "Not as raw as I was. Walk on water sucks. Bitch, suck my dick. Y'all saw the track list and had a fit before you heard it. So you formed your verdict while you sat with your arms crossed, did your little reaction videos, and talked over songs." And then you hear the ad lib, "chill." So, like, it's like people are telling him, like, don't talk shit about the fans. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a smart thing to go after the fans, right? And he's like, "fuck you." You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I didn't like Walk on Water that much, but it had nothing to do with the fact that Beyonce was on it. I just I just don't love songs like that. It just was,
Yeah. So there's twofold thing here. So he's addressing two different things. He's addressing one that this was true. The track list came out before the album did, and people were trashing it. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this is garbage." They didn't even hear the songs.
they're just mad about the features. Like it was a really good song with
Yeah.
him and Beyonce. It's just not the type of song that I like, so I don't like it, but I can say it's a really good song.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, so there was that, and then there was the people that actually did the reaction videos and shit on the
Shit all over
songs,
it.
which is funny. Um,
It's like kind of well, we didn't shit on all the songs.
no,
I mean,
we
there were
didn't.
two where I was just like, I don't love this,
Yeah.
but
So then you hear, so he says, "You talked over songs, chill." And then he responds to the chill. He says, "Nah, dog. Y'all saying I lost it. Your fucking marbles are gone." So he's saying, "Oh, you guys are crazy if you think I'm not as good as I was." And
yeah.
then another ad lib is, "Wait, M." So it's like people trying to like hold him back because you hear
Yeah,
like
and
his
like
aggression.
thinking they could get through to him.
Yeah. And then he says, so this is cool. He breaks into like the like trap modern cadence where he says, "But nowadays every flow, every cadence sounds the same." And he has a skirt, which is like an ad lib that you hear a lot.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Brain's a powder keg. I draw inspiration out of hate. Real pain in the paper. I don't trace." I love that fucking line.
So like he's not just like taking lines from other people or like having help with his verses. He writes everything himself.
Yes. So yeah. So he starts off. Obviously, everybody's copying
Yeah.
each other. Brains a powder keg. It explodes. He draws inspiration from the critics, and then, like you just said, real pain in the paper. I don't trace. So obviously, so it's real pain. So he's not faking, giving
And
it
he
somebody
didn't take
else's.
ideas from others either. Or, like,
Exactly.
techniques or whatever.
Exactly. And then literally the obvious that when you trace something on a piece of paper.
Yeah, he's
So
making a carbon copy. Like he
yes.
doesn't copy anybody.
Yes. All right. And then we get into this is another crazy line. He says, "But if I look strange and out of place, it's because I'm an alien. That's why I write till the page is out of space."
Like outer space.
Yes. And then literally he writes till there's no room on the page. It's such a sick line. Then he says, "Yeah, from 7 Mile in Navarro." So this is again, he's doing
He
another
used
type
to
of
live
trap.
there, right?
Yeah, that's like in Detroit.
Yeah.
And then he says to, "How can I be down? All of us trying to pile in the car." So he's talking. This is "How can I be down" was like a festival or like a thing like where people will come to rap and stuff.
Okay.
So he's saying all the way back then when he was, with like D12 and stuff. Yeah, all this trying to pile in the car. We shot for the stars because we only got so much time in this world. So rewind it to your high school dance to the night before if you think you're promised tomorrow. Do you get it?
Oh, prom is tomorrow.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's sick.
God.
So he introduces he's an alien. That's why he writes to the pages out of space, right? And then he goes, we shot for the stars. So the stars is another reference to the
To
space.
space.
And then he says, because we only got so much time in this world. So you have to go to the stars because there's only so much time in the world. But then shooting for the stars, you got it. You're alive. And
Mhm.
then, yes, so he ties those in. And then, like you pointed out, so prom is tomorrow and then promised tomorrow. So it's sick. The first time I heard that, I did not catch this.
Yeah, I
It,
didn't catch that just now.
yeah, it
No.
totally went over my head. And then I remember I was listening to this. I was like, oh my God, that's what he's saying. All right. And then he continues, now I'm about to fool again. This tune is sick. It's luminous. The moon is lit. A freaking lunatic. A human computer chip. And I'm soon to stick a broom in the uterus of your Hooters chick.
God.
If I was you, I wouldn't do nothing stupid due to the mood I'm in. I'm losing it. You get chewed like a junior mint. Show me who to rip. It's time for you to get screwed. Empty the lubricant and put super glue in it.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, this is like self-explanatory. He's going wild. He's in the right mood. He raps like a computer, and then he's going to put a broom in the uterus of a Hooters chick.
I wonder if he's saying that because it's now like not common knowledge because of all the Hooters girls on TikTok who talk about it, but they're literally not allowed to become pregnant.
Oh,
You'll get
really?
fired. Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't know if that's why he's
it's like
saying
an
that.
abortion reference. Maybe
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised because that's a
It's a
random
very random
line.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so he says it's time for you to get screwed, empty the lubricant and put super glue in it. So instead of lubricant, super glue.
And then
It's
you're
wild.
screwed if you put that in you or on you,
Yes,
depending on
literally.
what you got.
And he goes, woo, ad lib. So that's sick. All right. Then he continues, how many fucking rappers did I go through? Dispel doubt, but you won't admit I smoked you. Was spellbound, hellbound in my snowsuit, but am I supposed to sound like everything else out?
No.
Because I don't get compared to it, only myself now. So again, this is pretty straightforward.
And he's saying like he doesn't get compared to what's out now, just his prior self is what people
Yes.
compare him
And
to.
he's destroyed enough people that, he's spellbound to them and he was hellbound in a snowsuit, which is funny. So he's going to hell in his snowsuit, I guess because he's so cold. You know what I mean? So it's like a play on.
Okay.
Yes. And then he says, okay, and I can see the fair weather fans and sails down, but the only way I care is if I let myself down. But what the fuck have I woke to?
So saying like the fair weather fans are the ones who like shit on this whole album and like refuse to listen to it. And also there are people who only listen to his music when it's popular.
Yes, exactly. And then so the fair weather and then the sail sounds like you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
SAIL, sails down. So like you literally put your sails down. And then he says he doesn't care. He says, but what the fuck have I woke to? So it's kind of like a double entendre because people were like, oh, this even the critics of the album, like progressive people, they were like, oh, Eminem's getting woke too late, like from that context, not saying being woke is a bad thing, right? But like they're saying it's a good thing, but he's just not good at it. So his what the fuck have I woke to is a kind of a double entendre, like he's
Yeah.
waking up to all this hate, but also he became woke, and then this is the response he gets. You know what I mean? Yes, then he continues. Time to eat the vocals and shit out Pro Tools. I know you still want me to ill out, don't you? Hoping the old Slim's gonna spill out. Open fire on your whole camp with the spit I wrote you. So I think it's I roast. Oh no, with the spit I wrote you. Let me see if that's. So anyway, the vocals. Pro Tools is like a software you use to make music. Pro
Okay.
Tools, yeah,
That
it's
makes
like a
sense. So I
digital.
was like, you talking about like power tools?
No. So, oh no, it is. So
With this spit, a spit is something you roast a pig
I
on.
know. So it says with the spit I wrote you. So it is I roast you. Okay, let me actually finish. So then he says, chill out. No, you hoes couldn't roast me with the shit I wrote you. So he does this cool scheme, self-explanatory. He's like, people want the old Eminem back. They want him to go wild like he does, and he is on this song. And then
Yeah.
so he does fire on your whole camp. So campfire,
Oh, so
right?
it's like a camping scheme.
And then he says, with this spit, I roast you. So like
So with his rhyme, he's roasting you, his rapping, but also a spit is something you roast a pig on.
like a spit roast. And then so he does those, and then he says, so chill out now. So chill out, the fire opposite. Then he says, hoes couldn't roast me with the shit I wrote you. So then roast continues to that scheme,
Yeah.
but also saying even if he wrote it, they still wouldn't be able to roast him, which is funny.
Like if he wrote a rap for them to say, it
They
still
still
wouldn't work
yeah,
out.
it's very
Yeah.
funny. Then he says, then I took a stand, went at tanned faced,
Damn
and
face.
practically cut my motherfucking fan base in half and still outsold you. I love that
So
fucking line.
Trump,
Yes, so
tan face.
so he went at Trump, practically lost half of his fans, and still outsold his competitors, which is such an awesome line. Then he continues, you just called my shit trash. Thank God. I rap better when the odds are stacked. Revival's whack. I don't like that zombie track. Or when he's talking that garbage psychotic crap. Where's your content at? What's with all the conscious rap? Pink, Beyonce this, and Kalani that. So this is all referencing Revival, the album.
And like what he's heard said about it. I like zombie.
I know that's one of my favorites. Then so he's like, people are trashing him, but he likes it because he does better, and
Yeah.
it's evident by this song, man. This is so good. You know
And
what I
the
mean?
garbage psychotic crap. Are you talking about
Like Framed
Chloraseptic
or
or
Framed.
Framed?
Yeah,
I liked
I
Framed. I
know.
think that
It's
was my favorite one on the
yeah,
album.
I
It's
love
so
that. I love the
fun.
psychotic stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're saying, "Where's your content at?" Which he kind of did, but then they're like, "What's with all this conscious rap?" So it's kind of like they're at odds, those two statements, but they are things that he hears.
Yeah.
And then Pink, Beyonce, Kalani. So the
I think they
features,
were so the Kalani song just was disconnected for us. If it were more connected, we would have liked it more. Pink, that was actually a really good song.
yeah,
She was actually really good on that, and I don't like Pink.
yeah.
So
And then he continues, I just added to the fuel in my rocket pack till I'm ready to respond. Then I'm going to launch it at him. Idiotic from the fucking embryonic sac to the body bag. I'll be back. And when I am, I'll be at your fucking throat like
it's so crazy. He's
Chloraseptic.
just talking about his fans. He's literally
Yeah, and the
talking
critics.
about his.
I know, but
Well,
mostly,
yeah.
yeah, it's very funny. So yeah, it's all fuel. All the shit they say he uses as
You
fuel.
fool.
Yeah. Then he launches at them, and then idiotic from the fucking embryonic sac to the body bag. That's
Just saying
awesome.
that they're just dumb their whole lives.
So I thought he was saying that he's that.
Um,
He's like crazy.
I was getting that
That's
he was
interesting.
talking about anyone who dissed this album as just
Interesting.
being an idiot for their whole life.
See, I took it as like
It could be a double entendre, meaning him and them both.
yeah, because I was interpreting the idiotic part like from the beginning where he said, he's like the embodiment of sin, like this, you know what I mean? Like he's like crazy and shit. That's how I took it, but that's a good point.
Hmm.
And then he says, yeah, he's gonna be back, and when he is, he's gonna be at everybody's throats. All right.
That's it.
So that is it. Chloraseptic remix.
So it's really, really, really good. Now I could see why you like this one way better than the original. It's a lot better than the original. He should
Yeah.
have put this on the album.
And the original's
but it
good
couldn't have been
too.
on the album because it came out after the album. And it's about the reception of the album. So
Yep.
but yeah, it's
wasn't
really
possible.
good. No, it wasn't. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I really like it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
2 Chainz is good.
Oh yeah, we need to rank them. So Eminem, 2 Chainz, Phresher.
Yeah, obviously. I think everybody would agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. It's incredible. I love it. Everything. The cadence, the speed, the content. It's very funny.
Yeah, it was like very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right.
But yeah, definitely check out Manscaped, SeatGeek, Chomps, Carnivore Snacks, Amazon storefront, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you.
Bye.